Boris Johnson has defended his use of words such as surrender, as he told Andrew Marr it was to avoid doing so was impoverishing the language and diminishing parliamentary debate. The Prime Minister admitted that tempers on both sides of the Brexit debate had become inflamed, but said it was wrong for parliamentarians to be crowded out from using words like surrender. Mr. Johnson has stuck to his do-or-die pledge to leave the EU by the 31st of October with or without a deal. His comments come as he faced criticism for using the word humbug in Parliament when an MP said she has received death threats. He told BBC One's The Andrew Marr Show, "You're right that I used that word, but I want to make a very important distinction between that issue of threats and abuse towards MPs, which is totally unacceptable, which we have to prevent. What I think is the legitimate use of old metaphors to describe certain parliamentary acts or certain events in politics. If you cannot use a metaphor like surrender to describe the Surrender Act, then in my view you're impoverishing the language and diminishing parliamentary debate." Mr. Johnson went on to argue that he believes it's wrong MPs cannot use words like surrender. "I think it is wrong that parliamentarians should be crowded out for using words like surrender. I think what most people in this country would agree is that Brexit discussion has been going on for far too long, and it is true that tempers on both sides have now become inflamed. The best way to end this is to get Brexit done on the 31st of October and move the country forwards. That is what we are going to do." The Prime Minister went on to say he would not resign in order to avoid asking for the Brexit delay under the Hillary Benn amendment. Mr. Marr asked him if he would resign, as he has previously said he would rather be dead in a ditch than request a delay. Mr. Johnson said, "No, I have undertaken to lead the party and my country at a difficult time, and I am going to continue to do that. I believe it is my responsibility to do that." In a Sky News interview, Ian Duncan Smith added that the Prime Minister is quite within his rights to not request the extension. The former Conservative leader said so the amendment which forces Mr. Johnson to request a 3-month Brexit extension is a mess, as he said he admits he wouldn't ask for a delay. He told Soppy Ridge, "Why would the EU's administration want to force some kind of extension on a clearly unwilling government that does not want it? There's an awful lot of discussions to be had, but Boris Johnson is quite within his rights to say, personal to himself, he will not sign such an act. The centre ground of British politics is to deliver on what people voted for, and that is what Boris Johnson is determined to do. No surrender act should stop us."